All right, welcome back to math class today. Today we are still doing measurement. We're still doing the metric system, which I hope all of you at home thought that was a little easier than the customary units, since you only ever have to multiply or divide by 10 or 100. So, a little easier. Or maybe 1,000. All right, so today, friends at home, everything I write on my paper, please write down in your math notebook. And across the top, we are going, no, I got to get this right today. Yesterday I messed it all up. Okay, metric, units of capacity. Metric units of capacity. Angie?
Why do you always underline those words?
Because that's my title and I want it to stand out when you're looking around the room at our anchor charts.
Can you use my metric capacity?
Sure. Okay. So then you can flip to that page if you are writing in your table of contents. You can put this up at the top. Okay, there are a few basic things to know. First of all, what is capacity? We know length and weight. That makes sense in our heads, but capacity is a little harder. Abby?
It's like, I think it's how much something can fit.
How much what?
Something can fit in there.
Yeah, it's like a liquid thing. So let me get our Mr. Gallon Man over here real quick. So this was capacity for the customary units. Okay, so that was a gallon. We know it can hold a gallon of liquid. So in the metric system, we can also talk about how much liquid fills a container. So gallons are not metric, so we got to forget the gallon for a minute. So first thing you need to know is capacity. I'm going to make a little container of some sort to show some way that it's how much liquid can fill a space. Might help you remember. Okay, now we have two facts we need to learn. We need to know that 1 liter, okay, and you can do a capital L for liter. If you do a lowercase l, it'll look like a 1, so make sure it's capital. 1 liter is 1,000 milliliters, which is a little m, big L. And I do want you to all write milliliters once. Whoop. I think that's an E. Let me double check. Nope, it's all I's. Milliliter. So it's kind of like millimeter. Okay, now think about millimeter. There's actually a million millimeter, not a million. There's 1,000 millimeters in a meter. So a milliliter means there's 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter. That is really the main fact you need to know today. Now we're going to draw 2 more pictures to help you remember about what these sizes are. All right, first we're going to draw a little teaspoon. So I'm going to write teaspoon because I'm not sure I'll remember what this is. A teaspoon, do your best. You might have some liquid in there. A teaspoon is about 1 milliliter, okay? Oh, sorry, 5 milliliters. Mrs. Here's messing up. So if you can picture a tiny teaspoon, like out of your cooking stuff in your kitchen, that is equivalent about to 5 milliliters. So is a milliliter very much liquid? No, pretty tiny amount. Zoe?
I can't see no.
All right, Milliliter. And there actually might be 2 L's. There are 2 L's. Milliliter. I'll spell it one more time. Milliliter. All right. So other than a tablespoon, we have a bottle that holds 1 liter. But there's a bottle that we're more familiar with. Raise your hand if you've heard of a 2 liter. Okay, what's a 2 liter? Cadence?
It's like 2 bottles.
Okay, when we go to the grocery store, what do we often buy in a 2 liter? Dylan? Soda. Okay, if you get Mountain Dew or Coke or Pepsi or anything like that, even lemonade, it can come in a 2 liter. So, real quickly, we're going to try our best to draw a 2 liter. Just do your best. Good enough, okay? If you want your 2-liter to be your favorite type of soda, you may. I do have a weakness for Mountain Dew. I don't drink it often because it's not good for me, but I have a weakness.
Why don't you bring it?
Voice is off. So now we just need to know that a 2-liter, I'm going to put that on here, 2-liter, obviously is equivalent to 2 liters. So that just helps you have a frame of reference. When we're talking about a milliliter, well, 5 of them fit in a teaspoon, so it's tiny. But when we talk about a liter, it would be about half the size of a 2-liter of pop. All right, everybody's seen a 2-liter before, right?
No. Yeah.
No? I actually have one. I can show you real quick just in case we're not sure.
Like Coke.
I think I do. It just needs tossed. All right, but this is a 2-liter, okay? This is 2 liters of liquid. Not anymore because we drank some of it at our party a while back. Okay, it does say on here 2-liter. So when you are looking at liquids in the store, it will either be in milliliters and liters, or it would be in gallons, quarts, and pints. So now when you go to the store, you can have a better idea about how much liquid you've got. Questions so far?
No, I didn't.
No?
I just put one.
Liam?
For a minute, I thought you there was like no Sprite because you drank it all.
I have not drank it all. All right, let's do one example down at the bottom. I am going to kind of separate this part. We will put an example down here in your notes. All right, so first thing, if I have 9 liters, I want to know how many milliliters I have. So before everyone starts working ahead, I don't want anyone just telling me the answer. We're going to walk through it. First of all, think, I have 9 liters. Okay, well, how many milliliters are in 1 liter? That's what we need to know first. Emma? 1,000. Okay, we're still working with the easy numbers here with all the zeros. So instead of having 1 liter with 1,000 milliliters, I have 9. So what do I need to do to find out how many milliliters I've got? Hayden?
1,000 times 9.
Excellent job. 9 times 1,000 or 1,000 times 9? Good. Now zero trick. Make sure you're paying attention. Everyone in the back row got this? Okay. If I cover up all those zeros, I just have 9 times 1, which is 9. And then what do I need to add to the end? Know what?
The 3 zeros on the front.
Yeah. However many I was able to cover, I have to add to the end of my number.
How did you know to get 1,000?
So that is the only thing we have to look at our chart for. So we know we had 9 liters, right? And we know that every liter has 1,000 milliliters inside it. So I have 9 groups of 1,000. So I used my 9 liters they gave me and multiplied it by 1,000 that I got from my chart to get 9,000. All right, we are going to do several more examples, but that is all we need to put down in our notes. So before we move on from our notes, any questions? Josiah?
So there's only liters and milliliters?
For capacity? Yep. That's all we're going to focus on. Liam?
And if there was like 100 liters, there would be 100,000 of milliliters.
You got it. You got it. So this one's easier to think about. If I'm going from a great big liter down to a milliliter, my number needs to be much bigger. If I am ever switching from tiny milliliters to a big liter, my number is going to become a lot smaller. So that'll help you decide whether or not you need to multiply or divide. All right, Liam.
If you have like one number, like one digit, and a times, and then like something thousand, like on the like all you have to do on that is like add like 1,000 to it.
You're either adding zeros or taking off zeros, right? Okay. All right, so we are going to do some examples. So you can shift over to your whiteboard now. You can leave your math notebook out if you like looking at what you wrote for your notes, or you can use mine as a reference. All right. I'm going to put my markers away so I don't write on the whiteboard with markers.
Can you put a math notebook away?
Yes. I have never done that, but I don't want to now. Okay. So let's go ahead and try this one. So on your whiteboards, please write with me. Yep. if I have 200 liters, I want to know how many milliliters I have. 2,000 liters, or not 2,000, sorry, 200 liters, how many milliliters do I have? Make sure everyone's got that written down. I can't move on without you. There are a few of you near the back of the room that need to make sure you write this down. Madeline Quinn, you with me? Okay, write that down. All right. So I have 200 liters. We know a liter is half of a big thing of soda. So that's a bigger unit. I need to change it down to tiny milliliters. So first, how many milliliters are in 1 liter? We know that from our chart. Abby? 1,000. So if I have 200 liters, and within 1 liter there's 1,000 milliliters, what do I need to do? Liam?
Multiply 20 times
20, or did you mean the 200? Don't do any zero tricks till we write a problem. So we need to divide or multiply 200 by what?
200 times 1,000.
Yep. So we have 200 liters. We know that 1 liter has 1,000 milliliters, but we have 200 of them. So we need 200 groups of 1,000. Now I'm sure at the beginning of 4th grade you would have looked at that and told me to take a hike, but we know how to do this, right? I cover up, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros I can cover. 2 times 1 would be what? Angie?
2.
2. All right, now Angie, how many zeros do I need to tack onto the end?
3.
Whoop, count all of them.
5.
5. Good. We have to make sure both number zeros are included. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I can hop over every 3. Remember, it's every 3 you put a comma. And that's that. So 200 liters, we knew our number was going to be bigger. It's 200,000. That's a big number. All right. Questions on that one? All right. Let's try another.
Hey, what would be...
All right. This time, let's go the other direction. If I have 4,000 milliliters, you guys already know what I'm going to ask. We only have 2 units this time, so we're going to switch it to liters. Okay, now milliliters are teeny tiny, and we want to put them into groups that are bigger into a liter. So my first thought, how many milliliters are in 1 liter? We have to know that first. Angie?
1,000.
1,000. So I have 4,000 milliliters, and every group of 1,000 can become 1 liter. So do I need to multiply or divide? Liam?
Multiply.
Are you sure?
Divide.
Divide. Let's think about this. Remember that number line can always help you if you're not sure. I have 4,000 milliliters. I need to divide it into chunks of 1,000. So I can tell right now that I'm going to need 4 groups of 1,000, right? So what we did was divide 4,000 by 1,000. Okay, now I want to be a little more clear on our zero trick from division. It has been a while, and some of you were struggling yesterday. Just one moment. All right, so the zero trick. When you do division, you can only cover up even zeros. So here's an example. Do they all have a 0 right here?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I can forget those. Do we all have a 0 here?
Yes.
I can forget all those. We both have a 0 here?
Yes.
Okay, so as long as the zeros are even, I can get rid of all of them. So if we have a different example later, I'll show you that. So now it's just 4 divided by 1. I don't have to add zeros. I hope we all know that's 4. And when I look at my picture, if I divide 4,000 into 4 groups, I would have 4 groups of 1,000. That works. So 4,000 milliliters is 4 liters. All right. Yes, ma'am.
So like if the zeros and the numbers were like 4 and 2, would you be able to add the zeros?
I'll just make up an example, okay? So let's say instead of 4,000, I have, it's about that time of year I need new markers. All right. So if I had 40,000, and I want to divide that by 1,000. Okay, I've got 3 zeros here, right? Do I have 3 zeros here? So I can get rid of all those zeros. Can I get rid of that one? Is there one over here I can cross off with it? No. So my problem is 40 divided by 1, which would be 40. So as long as you have an even number of zeros, you can delete all of them. But if this one has more, you got to keep one. Okay, let's do one more example together. Get your boards ready. Every single one of you, erase your board, get ready to write. And let's see. Let's do a comparing problem. So, write this with me. I have 8 liters on one side compared to 80,000 milliliters. We have to figure out which one is greatest. 8 liters or 80,000 milliliters. Okay, first thing that runs through my mind is, are my units the same? If my units are the same, I can just compare the numbers. Is that my situation? No. So, Hayden, what could we do?
We could make milliliters into liters.
Okay, we can either make milliliters into liters or we can make liters into milliliters. This kind of depends if you like to multiply or divide better. If I'm going to change 80,000 milliliters to liters, I will have to divide it by 1,000. So some of you might like to divide. If I'm going to change 8 liters to milliliters, I have to multiply 8 by 1,000. So, which shall it be? I'll let someone choose. Cadence?
Times.
Okay, we're going to multiply. If you want to do the division instead on your own, if you're comfortable with that, you may. So I'm going to change 8 liters to milliliters. So 8 liters. How many milliliters are in 1 liter? Angie? 1,000. So I need 8 groups of 1,000. Which 8 times 1, if I cover my zeros, is 8. 1, 2, 3 zeros to the end. Give you a moment to catch that up.
Oh.
So now I know I've got 8,000 milliliters, which I could write up above here. These things are equivalent. 8,000 milliliters is the same thing as 8 liters. They're the same. All right, so now which one's larger? Noah?
80,000.
80,000. All right, so the main thing on the comparing problems, any comparing problem, do you always have to have either the same unit or the same denominator anytime you compare anything? I think we've learned a lot about that this year. So make sure you've got the same units. Any questions on that one? Okay. Let's see if there's anything else I wanted to say. Oh, here's just some good questions. If I wanted to find out how much water is in my large fish tank, I mean it's big, it's like 3 desks long, it's full of water, would I want to measure that in milliliters or liters? Josiah? Liters, you're right. If I did tiny little teaspoons, that would be 5 milliliters. That would take forever. All right, what about, I am making a recipe, and it calls for some oil. Do you think I'm going to use liters or milliliters? Angie? Milliliters. A liter would be half a can of soda. That's a lot of oil. That's too much. All right, what if I want to measure how much liquid is in my cup of tea? Cadence? Milliliters, good. All right, what if I am measuring how much water is in the Pacific Ocean? Oh, Abby? Liters, milliliters. Liters would be frustrating enough, right? So, all right, so I hope that you think these metric capacity conversions are easier, right? So think about the customary capacity was gallons, quarts, pints, and ounces, or cups. Was that one a lot harder than this? Yeah, okay. So the metric system is easy. So remember, it's all tens and thousands, okay? You guys can do this. All right, friends at home, thank you for joining me. Good luck on your practice.